Hey everybody, it's yours truly, Chicken Nugget King 313. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to the channel. I'm at 304 subscribers, and today I'm doing a video about top 5 interior defensive linemen. And yeah, it's my opinion, okay? It's not, some ESPN or FS1 type of opinion. It's my opinion. It's Chicken Nugget King's opinion. So make sure you like, share, subscribe to the channel, and hit that subscription button and holler back at your boy. And tell a Lions fan to tell a Lions fan to tell a sports fan to tell a sports fan to come join the journey. Um, right now we're gonna start things off with Mason Graham out of University of Michigan. His strengths: strong run stopper in the middle, shows relentless work upon the line of scrimmage, loves to get physical, has a Tony Siragusa style of play to his game. Weakness: I see none. Looking at his stats in the 2024 season, to be exact, 24 solo tackles, 3.5 sacks, no forced fumbles, no interceptions, while being the defensive lineman, a strong defensive lineman, being nickel 55 out there playing hard. 6'3", 320 pounds, a junior that comes out of Anaheim, California. And yes, his status is very active. There's going to be guys, well, not guys, there's going to be teams that are looking for an interior defensive lineman that can bring that impact at the top 3, top 5 position. And I think Mason Graham, to me, could really fall top 3, top 5 in this draft. I don't think he should go number 1, but I think top 3, top 5 is really Mason Graham's, destination. That's definitely his target. And whoever picks him up is getting an impactful player right away. Definitely a starter. Day 1 starter all day. Definitely. Now we're heading things over to Kenneth Grant. Yes, Kenneth Grant. Kenneth Grant, he's from Maryville, Indiana, 6'3", 339 pounds, and a very impressive player. His stats: 18 solo tackles, 3 sacks, forced fumbles, none, interceptions, none. And my strengths and weaknesses out of him is that he brings 100% pressure in every snap. A guy you could trust in the clutch with long arms. He can read the QBs while being in the trenches, commands double teams when winning the one-on-one matchups. His weaknesses, in my opinion, is trying to produce speed, running after running backs, finding open yards, so quite slower at that. He could definitely work on that. But then again, the stat speaks for itself. He could definitely be another impactful player. In my eyes, he could definitely fall at least, top 5, top 10 in this draft, because a lot of, teams are looking for offensive players that could come in and start and flourish right away. I don't see him being top 2. Same thing with Mason Graham. I don't see him being top 2 or a top, 3 pick. I do see them getting top 4, top 5 range. Like I said with Mason Graham, top 3, top 5 range. But there's a top 4, top 5 range within Kenneth Grant and Mason Graham, because Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant, they play the game to their advantage, and they love beating the opposing offensive linemen off through power and agility and so much more. They have that raw effort to their game, and you got to love that when you have guys who are 2+, 300-pound plus guys that are just great catalyst off the defensive line and love working in the trenches. Now we're going to head things over to my next guy right here. Walter Nolan out of Ole Miss. Yes, the same school that Eli Manning went to. Now, Walter Nolan, in my opinion, is a good name, a hell of a name. If your name Walter Nolan, you're definitely going somewhere. You definitely are a football player, a true football player at that. I mean, the kid comes from Memphis, Tennessee. He's, played at Texas A&M, played in Ole Miss. He had like 2 years in Texas A&M. Played the Gator Bowl, played the Senior Bowl 2025. He's a consensus All-American, first team All-SEC. His stats, they're pretty good. 26 solo tackles, 6.5 sacks, no forced fumbles, no interceptions upon the 2024 season. And he's 6'3", 305 pounds, and a junior, and definitely active. In my opinion, when you're looking for an interior lineman, you're looking for a guy that brings high motor, disruptive throughout the line of scrimmage. He wants to make the correct defensive play. His weakness, not too explosive, not a sack machine, but still could get the work done. Definitely could produce at a high level for you when you need him to. Derek Harmon, Michigan State / Oregon. Yes, the Derek Harmon. We're going to go with stats before we get to my weaknesses and strengths of Mr. Derek Harmon. Derek Harmon comes out of the University of Oregon Ducks. You know, shout out to the Ducks real quick. Second team All Big Ten guy. He comes from Detroit, Michigan. Definitely a Detroiter. 310 pounds, 6'5". I mean, his stats, impressive. 27 solo tackles, 5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. He's a Detroiter at heart. Came from Loyola. This guy is just amazing. An amazing player, an amazing stud. I definitely see him falling top 15, top 20, because the Detroit Lions would love to pick up a guy like this. You know, excuse me for bloopering a little bit, but Derek Harmon definitely screams Detroit Lion. I know a lot of Lions fans, they want Jared Ivey, they want Mike Green, they want Nick Skirton, they want guys like Shedeur Stewart. They want guys like that. They want guys off the edge. But right now, in my opinion, it's best to get depth, for the defensive lineman, for the interior defensive lineman when it comes to Ali McNeil or DJ Reader. You're going to definitely have to want that. And I think with Derek Harmon, his presence will be felt in, the Detroit Lions interior defensive lineman lineup, to be exact, because I definitely like to see him be a depth piece in Detroit. And we definitely would like to, utilize him, whether if it's off the 3-4 or the 4-3, because he could definitely be a quality worker. And the way he looks, man, it's just like unreal. Raw power as a defensive tackle. His swim move is quite impressive from the get up. Has Pro Bowler like written all over him. He's definitely a Pro Bowler, future Pro Bowler in my eyes. To my knowledge, he has no weaknesses, but I would definitely look into his weaknesses. See what he's good, what he's not good at. But yeah, why not pick up the hometown kid? That would be pretty good for us, Detroiters. Next up, I have Darius Alexander out of Toledo. Now, Darius Alexander is one of a kind, in my opinion. And I know a lot of, fans out there are going to get at me and say, well, why did you not put TJ Sanders in this list? Hey, I might regret it. I might regret that, but still. You gotta go out there and give credit where it's due to Darius Alexander, because Darius Alexander has the stuff. He has the it factor, being an interior defensive lineman. His prospect grade 6.13. He's a good backup with the potential to develop into a starter. Shout out to NFL Next Gen Stats on this. I mean, this kid redshirted in 2019, played in all 6 games as a reserve, 9 tackles. Tackle for a loss, basically. In 2021, he played in all 13 games with 3 starts, 21 tackles, TFLs, and 2 PBUs, because he loves the, deflect passes. Played in all 13 games with 1 start, 21 tackles, 7 tackles for a loss, 1.5 sacks, 3 PBUs in 2022. In 2023, he was 3rd team All-MAC, played in all 14 games with 11 starts, 36 tackles, 5.5 tackles for a loss, 4.0 sacks, 3 PBUs, and he's a 2nd team All-MAC guy in 2024. Started with 12 games, 40 tackles, 7.5 tackles, 3.5 sacks, 4 PBUs, returned for an interception for a TD in the Game Above Sports Bowl, 6 overtime win against Pittsburgh, University of Pittsburgh. This kid has great skill to me. Great skill to me, but in my opinion, here's my strengths. I'll get to the NFL strengths of him. He's a showman that likes to put on a show defensively. He gives good effort on one-on-one matchups against offensive linemen. creative in the pass rush with different move sets, not one dimensional by far. Uh, Weaknesses, misses some plays a little late, but he can work on that endlessly. He's definitely a guy that could, practice his game and get better, each and every single step of the way. But to the NFL's knowledge, his strengths is possessive, coveted length with 3-down skill set, comes off the ball with good bend and forced into first contact, batter's blocker with heavy hands and long arms, capable to slide and swim, swim move to force whiffs, rushes with a game plan to set up his moves and counters, uses arm extension to generate push and separate with his rush, fairly instinctive rush counters fueled by active hands. The weaknesses though, easily displaced with pad level when pad level starts to drift up high, somewhat sluggish with his short area footwork, gets caught up fighting blocker instead of finding the runner. Average first step quickness into the neutral zone as a pass rusher, doesn't get from point A to point B quickly in a twist. Basically, what I just said. He's slower at that, but below average bend with his rushes allows him to be redirected. So that is the strengths and weaknesses of my top 5 in interior defensive linemen, guys. Shout out to Derek Harmon. Shout out to Darius Alexander. Shout out to Walter Nolan. Shout out to Kenneth Grant. Shout out to Mason Graham. Give me your thoughts on my top 5 interior defensive linemen to look at the scouting combine, at the NFL scouting combine, to be reworded. That's happening Thursday at 3 p.m. So make sure you tune in and don't touch that dial. Big shout out to the NFL again for the information and the knowledge of these great young talents that's coming into the league. It's fun to watch the scouting combine because I'm gonna do a lot of scouting when I'm watching corners, wide receivers, running backs, quarterbacks, linebackers. I'm definitely gonna get down to my scouting on that, because I definitely have a top 5 in my mind, in my eyes, of guys that could definitely fit the Detroit Lions and, other 32 teams as well. But other than that, give me your thoughts on my top 5 and hit me back. Chicken Nugget King 313. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to the channel. I'm at 304 subscribers. Hey, make sure you hit that subscription button. And just always tell a Lions fan to tell a Lions fan to come join the journey, and tell a sports fan to tell a sports fan to come join the journey. Because right about now, I'm checking out the Detroit Tigers versus the New York Yankees in spring training, because we know spring training does not count at all. It's not the regular season. It doesn't get that much to be exact, but it's more happier to see, baseball come back in a full effect way. But then again, one pride, one love, Chicken Nugget King out.